combination of cell phones and classrooms are somewhat comparable to oil and water in most schools across Canada. They just don't mix. Mostly they're seen as distractions by most educators, and mobile devices have been banned in most educational institutions. But one teacher at a Newfoundland high school is finding a unique way to integrate the technology to create more class participation. My guest is Paul Heppleston. He's an English teacher at Elwood High School in Newfoundland. Paul, welcome to the show. How long have you been teaching?
I'm in my second year.
You're doing something that I don't think a lot of teachers across Canada are doing. Tell us a little bit about your English class.
Okay, well, it's a level 1, grade 10 basic English class, and it's populated by students who largely struggle with your standard skills and strategies that you use in English language arts. And so this course is designed to help students just develop skills in a really basic sort of practical way. Build up skills for dealing with other courses, for dealing with communication in the real world, say once they're out in the workforce or whatever. And as well, if we can, and this is the high hope in this course, if we can even help them to build up some skills and strategies for reading and writing for some enjoyment.
So where did the idea come from? I mean, I personally think it's a fantastic idea, and I think anything that a teacher can do to get a child excited about learning and participation is a good thing. But when did the whole idea come to you as far as using the cell phones as part of your curriculum?
Well, we recently had a change in our school's policy on cell phones, just a modification, basically. Here in Newfoundland and Labrador, cell phone rules are left to the discretion of the individual schools. And so the high school that I'm at right now had a fairly strict policy, and we met as a faculty and decided to ease off just slightly. And,
so what was the policy before? Were they absolutely banned in the school?
Absolutely banned.
Okay.
And of course, I mean, the hopes of successfully achieving a total ban on cell phones are fairly slim. And so what we decided we'd do is to try and give them a little bit of leeway so that they didn't feel such a need to try and do otherwise, right?
Yeah, okay.
And so what we said was during instructional time, that's while they're in class, we're not to see the cell phones, and if we do, then they get confiscated, and we go from there. But now they're allowed to have their cell phones out during recess, during lunchtime, in the cafeteria or the hallways. For the most part, I think it's been a good move for us. So this whole change in policy sparked a bit of a debate and got me thinking maybe I'd get my English class in on a debate. So I did a bunch of reading online, and I found articles from both sides. And
what was the debate surrounding? The actual ban of cell phones in the school?
No, just it was a little broader. Whether or not cell phones were bad for teenagers.
Okay, gotcha.
And now I was on the other side. Actually, I was very much against cell phones in schools before I started this little exercise.
For what reasons?
Well, I've got an English degree, and I like literature, and I think grammar is important. And, these sorts of, I think, typical first responses from teachers, and certainly the objections that have come my way since starting this, I understand them.
What have been some of the objections specifically? What have people been saying?
Mostly it's we get people who don't understand what it is that I'm doing and don't understand that I have fairly strict guidelines about the use of cell phones in class. It's not quite a free-for-all. So some people will object and assume that I'm just letting kids have at it and there's no chance of them focusing ever again in my class, right? So we get objections like that. Then we get other more understandable objections from other teachers who will say, well, now kids are going to say, well, Mr. Heppleston lets us do it, and why won't you? And once again, all they have to do is look at the parameters that I've got around the use of cell phones in class, which is only from time to time, and it's task-oriented. So it's
can you give us specific examples of some of the assignments that you ask students to complete using their phones?
Okay. Well, we started off, I mean, we're still in the infancy with this experiment, but I started off with homework reminders or, hey, don't forget Monday we're starting this in class, so be prepared. One day on a Friday afternoon, I knew it was going to be a challenge to get them down to business, so I went with a trivia game. I texted them on Thursday afternoon. I said, charge up your phones, top up your minutes, and bring your phones to class. And I had educational trivia games. And so I sat at my computer. I texted them the messages, and the first one back who used a complete sentence to make an answer got the point, right? Most recently, the assignment that we did was I taught a unit on movie reviews, and so I broke down the various parts that are key to a movie review, and we watched a movie, and then I gave them an option. I said, okay, if you'd like to do this the traditional way, here's the outline, here's how I'd like you to write your movie review, and if you'd like to do it by cell phone, I will text you the 5 questions. Each of the 5 questions has a word count, a minimum word count, and they understand it's still English class, so I still expect them to write in full sentences and do their best to put it in proper grammar and whatnot. And
that brings me to my next question, because nothing drives me crazier as an